Welcome to Wild, Women in Lending Determined to Make an Impact. I'm your host, Robin Lavasser. They say our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Welcome back to Wild with Robin Lavasser. I am so excited, and it's a little bit ironic to even talk about the topic because if you know me, so I'm in my late 40s, you would know that I am one of the least techie people. Tech is not my game. It's not my strong suit. And yet I learn so much when I can get my hands a little bit into the tech and understand it. But I am very much like use it for exactly what I think I need that moment and get back out. I'm not a leverage it type of girl. And I will tell you, tech has increasingly blown my mind in many ways, but nothing the way that ChatGPT has absolutely just expanded things. It not only has been able to save me probably 10 plus hours a week in different areas of my life. It's like having an assistant right next to you, if you will, to your own brain. It's like an expansion product of your own brain. And when I say that, I want to talk today about how to use it in business in a way but really in life in general. And so I started on ChatGPT, and maybe some of you can relate to this. It's like a Google. Hey, I'm just going to, instead of putting something in Google or, using your, iPhone for the basic internet search, I'm going to go into ChatGPT. And so what it really did was just provide me what it could off of Google in a faster, more consumable format, right? Rather than having to click on something to then go find what you were exactly looking for, i.e. Pinterest and Google and different things. Here's a million different things that now you can click on to go dig. It's right there and in just text format, which is not sexy, if you will, but very easy to consume. So loved that. Started using it for funny little things like business, or not even from a business perspective, more from a personal perspective. I'd put in there different recipe ideas. I'd put in there 4 ingredients that I have ready in my fridge and what to make for dinner. And I'd put in there, hey, is there a coupon for this specific website that I'm about to, order something off of? And sure enough, it would get me all of that at the, just blink of an eye. So I was pretty darn happy just with the basics of like, hey, will you rewrite this email for me? What I have learned now is that one, I will tell you right now, if you are not using a paid version of a ChatGPT in general of an AI, you absolutely need to invest. And it's kind of like your, cell phone being able to catch on to your own articulation, and it starts to translate better when you're asking it questions, when you want to voice text. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger at being able to process what you're saying, what you're thinking into text format or email or whatever you're doing in terms of voice prompting. AI does that same thing, but it really gets into your head. And so what I have loved is you've got to feed the machine, and it has to know more and more and more about you, your mindset, your thoughts, which means you have to open up and give it specifics. And I was not being nearly specific enough. And so I'll give you a couple tips that have absolutely changed the game for me. One, paid version of AI can do just about anything that you would want it to do. And so whether it's make us an Excel spreadsheet, make a PowerPoint. I suck at PowerPoint personally, like really, really bad. I am not a graphic designer. You can put prompts in that will then create exactly what you want it to create in a matter of minutes. What's awesome about that is you can use it you can upload your own headshots, your own company logos, realtor headshots. You can create so much in graphic design off of AI. And I'm giving you probably a very dumbed down version, and some of you might be super advanced users. I'm going to give you some meat and potatoes that I absolutely was blown away with in terms of, let's say you're a loan officer wanting to teach a lunch and learn, wanting to give a presentation of some sort. You can literally, and I do this all the time when I'm speaking in front of realtors or anything, I'll look at specific markets and instantly be able to pull up very strong ethos, right? Things that will register within people's brain to give credibility of stats in local counties, local communities, everything from the rents versus, home owners, owner occupied, if you will, the amount of of equity in that specific area, the median income, the biggest obstacles from a homeowner's perspective. And I can always say, speak this to me as if I was a real estate agent. Speak this to me as if I was a loan officer selling the real estate agent. So I want to start with that. When you are prompting ChatGPT, you always want to give them the role that you want it to play. Do you want the ChatGPT to play the role of a consumer? Do you want it to play the role of a reader of your social media or somebody that you would like to become a follower of you in social media? Do you want it to become somebody who listens to your podcast? Do you want it to become a client that you're about to meet with that maybe is an investor and has a ton of DSCR or investment properties? Do you want it to help you in those areas, know who you're targeting, and give you tips and tricks and ideas based on maybe a little bit that you feed to it? And so the role that you want it to play is massive. The context in which you want it to work out of. What is the context of what you're trying to do, right? And so we talked about the role of kind of the hat that you're playing. It reminds me of the game Headbands, where you have headband on and someone's trying to guess, right? Like who's up on your forehead right now. And so you're literally picking that, then saying, what context are you hoping to get across, right? What are you doing? What content, what's the format of the content that you want? And when you can put those few things together, which I've gotten stronger and stronger and stronger at, the outcome is mind-boggling to me in a short amount of time with incredibly accurate, valuable, relevant, applicable data that I can then share and provide and talk through. It really is just an absolute gift to every single one of us when used correctly. Now, what I don't think that it should do is every single email, every single post always is simply AI driven, where you're not reading it anymore. You're not really, hey, does this truly sound like me? Is this something I would say? What's funny is I have no pride, or one of the things about me is the ability to be incredibly authentic and transparent. And I don't say that in a way of like, oh, I'm so nice, you should think I'm so nice. I want you to stop and question yourself of how vulnerable, how open you are to the world for a minute. Think about that. So I wore eyelashes forever and ever. I still love them. I do not have them on any longer. And when people would say, oh, you have such pretty eyes, I'd be like, oh, the eyelashes are fake. Someone might say, oh, you have a beautiful smile or something like that. Yeah, they're veneers. I got my teeth fixed. And so I'm always willing to tell people the truth. And it's no different with AI, but you always want to hold on to a piece of yourself and everything that you're doing. It's super, super, super important. And so people will start to be able to depict, hey, that's an AI. And you want to make sure it's got enough of you in it to where they can still feel it, see it. And yet I have no shame in the game of saying, hey, it was my idea. It was AI that produced it the way that I wanted it to efficiently, right? It was my idea. No different than me leaving a slide dial voicemail at the beginning of the year for every employee in the company that I run. And legitimately, I record this slide dial at the very beginning of the year. So it's always a different message annually, but it simply says something to the likes of happy anniversary. I'm so glad you're part of the Summit family. Really grateful to work alongside you, whatever that is, right? I hope you have an incredible day and thank you for all that you do. Something to that degree that dips into their voicemail. Now, here's the truth of it. Using that does not change the heart of it in the fact that I want to share with people an anniversary message. But the odds of me falling apart on 365 days a year of, 1,000 employees and missing some, maybe some really critical ones, forgetting, getting some done and others not, and having all sorts of feelings around it is really likely. I lived that life for a very long time. So I fixed it with slide dial, still authentically me, still wanting to do it, but very much more efficient. ChatGPT is that's the root of it, right? That efficiency. And so I'm going to give you one that'll kind of blow your mind. I had ChatGPT. I'm teaching a class coming up with one of my dear friends. Her name's Marjorie Adam, and I could share with you guys all sorts of things about Marjorie. I personally just think the world of her, and we're actually teaching a class on ChatGPT. And so as we're fiddling around with what the structure of the class is going to be, and we're both using ChatGPT to kind of get our ideas and everything put together, I went into loan officer brain for a minute because that's who we're going to be teaching, loan officers and realtors in the room. And I said, build me essentially. So one was build me a 30-minute talk, and I gave it the right prompts on everything. And so I'll give you kind of, and this knocked it out of the park. So I'm going to give you my specific prompt just so you kind of understand metaphorically how you would prompt. So I said, build a real estate agent agent and I, a loan officer, a 30-minute talk on how to use AI ChatGPT in the business of residential loan officers and real estate agents. Include top prompts to ask, relevant uses for client care, data, presentations, social media, and anything else that you can think of. The goal is for the audience to walk away with 3 to 5 powerful points that we speak on, with handouts that go more in depth about using AI for more than just a Google, and all the possibilities within to save time, earn more money, and provide incredible service. So a multitude of items, right? And so it gave us this 30-minute talk. We're going to pull a whole bunch of it and then also put things together. Well, as she and I were talking, I thought, I'm going to take this one more step. So we are talking and I said, hang on for a second, Marjorie. I'm Robin, the loan officer, and I want to know how to win you over. And we happen to be on the subject. If you've never asked ChatGPT to tell you about you, it's kind of a fun little thing, and it'll show you the websites that it quoted, right? And where they got some information. And then it always generally knows, especially if somebody's a user of ChatGPT, a little bit more about that person versus just the website quote. So I've used it for tell me about me type of deal. But instead I said, I'm a loan officer that really wants to earn Marjorie Adams' business. Tell me about her as a person and a real estate agent. So that's the beginning. So it starts telling me about her personal life, community involvement, professional background. And then I said, how would you propose an action plan to gain relationship and referrals from Marjorie? Include gifting ideas for her, books or podcasts to share, business insights, and anything else you think would add value to me marketing to her and starting a business relationship from a loan officer perspective, right? And so I get going on this, and I will tell you, it pulled within a matter of seconds quotes from Marjorie's podcast, things to write her in an email, things about her team's social media content in addition to hers. That was research, personal connection. Here's her podcast. Here are a few of her key quotes from it, all of these things. Then value-based information, basically asking for things. And then it said, hey, if I were to gift, I would gift the following things, maybe a copy of the book, The Power of the Moments. I'm reading this out loud to Marjorie while we're on the Teams chat planning our class, and her jaw starts going on the floor. And I'm not exaggerating this. As a top producing, long-term, incredible amount of buy sides to give to her lender, fiercely loyal. I said, if I did this step-by-step plan and executed it well as a loan officer, would you start using me? And one of the things, copy of Power of Moments, she was like, or giftology. She said, Robin, ironically, Power of Moments is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And if a lender sent that to me alone, I would be like, I have to meet with them because they're on the same wavelength as me. I don't know where ChatGPT came up with it or if it just did on a whim, but put 2 and 2 together. Handwritten notes, right? Gave me all these other gifting ideas. So one of the gifting ideas was a custom dog charcuterie board. Yes, they exist. It gives where I can get that, all of those things. She was like, oh my gosh, I love dogs so much. I would die if somebody got me a dog charcuterie board. She's very enthusiastic. So literally gives a whole thing, why it works, business intelligence. So local market summary, data visuals, buyer consult scripts, co-event host, basically gives a bunch of ideas around that. And then it goes through all sorts of things. And then at the end, it says, would you like me to help draft a sample email or a direct message to Marjorie, a value drop email with data insider tool, a co-branded event or idea for her database? Literally says all those things. It says keys to winning someone like Marjorie. Respect her time and her brain. She's sharp, so avoid fluff. Mirror her values, community service, long-term relationships. Be visible but not pushy. Send value, don't chase. In all of that, then I say, yes, give me all of these things. It creates all of the data below. And then literally I write to, hey, do you know anything about her favorite things? It says, do you want me to create something in Canva for an event that I could co-brand? Do you want me to do this? It's literally asking me, brainstorming for me and alongside me and triggering me to be like, oh yes, like give me that, give me that. I end up writing in there, hey, do you know anything about her local favorite dining spots and information? Literally adds all of her local dining spots, in addition to the fact that she loves a specific place for donuts and espresso. Favorite foods aren't detailed, but here are some insights into her community. I mean, there's all this information. And I think to myself, imagine if in a matter of 2 minutes, you could put in your top 40 realtors or your top referral prospects as a realtor and put your clients in, whatever it is. And you could say, tell me all about them. Tell me about things that you would deem helpful for me to add value to them, right? Find a need, fill a need, all of those things. And it does the thinking or the start of your own spark in your brain for you, and then it puts it into a digestible, easy to follow format, and it's willing for you to critique it back and ask for more, ask for it in a different way, ask for, a little tweak here and a little tweak there, and it's all at your fingertips in a matter of seconds. So here's what I would tell you. In terms of ChatGPT, you should never have to truly brainstorm up social posts, an email, an agenda, a presentation. You should be using ChatGPT as your partner in crime. Have you ever been in that space where you're like, I want to go shopping. I'm a girl, so I'm just going to talk about that for a minute. And it is women in lending determined to make a difference, or an impact. So wild, if you will. As a woman, you think, I want to go shopping, but I want to take a friend so they can give me insight. I don't know that ChatGPT can give us the best fashion insight yet, but what I do know is that it can give you incredible insight, can be your brainstorming partner, can be your expanded brain, if you will, kind of your right and your left side. It'll work both for you as long as you're willing to engage. So no matter how old you are, or maybe how cynical you are, and or how new you are, you can't mess this up, because if I can do it, you can do it too. And I promise you it will absolutely change the game and the future of this industry. We'll see you soon.